Oi! Greetings world from Patrick Grove with comoncentz Motors. This is hopefully the first installment of what I hope to be an informational type program for the people. It started over a decade ago when I started to try to use what I call applied wisdom. For decades we'd have a lot of things at our disposal to fix the problems and issues of the day, but we have yet to apply them. Regenerative braking systems on automobiles, our own personal power plants. The reason why we don't need to dig in the ground for coal, the sun is turned on every day. Things of this nature. I'd like to start with things as recent as the downfall of the United States automobile industry and the use of marketing to basically market it back into place. Things like steel box frames have been around for hundreds of years, and hydraulic systems could be used in the place of leaf springs, which were used on horse and buggies. The fact that the automobile industry has marketed themselves to the public to be this new great thing, just using marketing techniques instead of actually making better vehicles, is just one of the things I'd like to talk about. The main reason I'm here is to discuss what we could have done decades ago with the personal power plant. The personal power plant could be something as simple as a basic solar panel that could go to a battery bank system, say old car batteries, old truck batteries, diesel, deep cycle marine batteries, and then from that you could wire things 12 volt or DC power to inverters. And inverters have been around long enough now to get affordable that we could we could wire our homes with DC current and put the proper inverter at that outlet that could take that DC power, invert it to AC, and power whatever we need from a few $100s worth of solar panels. People think that to get off the grid you need $15,000 and $30,000 and $20,000. You could create your own personal power plant for cheap. Well, not cheap for poor folks, but to get off the grid for low money. It's not as expensive as possible. Most of the items you need could be found in like a Northern Tool catalog, where you could go in there and get cheap windmills, battery banks, battery chargers, charge regulators for your battery bank. You could get off the grid for cheap. The reason why this type of thing is not talked about on the Green Planet channel or the network television shows is, you know, this could cost, save people millions and billions of dollars in electricity, along with perhaps an electric hydraulic vehicle that you could drive with a PlayStation controller, and instead of steering knuckles and things, we could use what we've had for years in steer-by-wire, electrically controlled, hydraulically actuated components, hydraulic pneumatic ride systems to be able to have vehicles go off and on road, adjustable level suspensions, aluminum framed or frames that don't rust, things that don't. The problem now is that most things are designed for predetermined obsolescence. So you come in right about when your payment book is over, your vehicle is predetermined obsolescence. Its build life expectancy is about over. Now the problem is it's a lot of import vehicles or other vehicles that are built to last a lot longer, which is why the United States tax dollars had to bail out certain companies. Now I give Ford props for not going out of business, but a Ford Focus is a Mazda. So when the commercial comes on and says trade in your import, your Honda or your Toyota for this here Escape or this here Focus, it's like trading in one import for another. It's just marketed and sold differently because Ford owns Mazda and you think you're getting rid of your import. That's the problem with today, is we all wallow around in a shallow puddle of our dumbness and the lies on TV, and the little disclaimers at the bottom is the reason why nobody knows what's really going on. We can't possibly find that out. And you go to a website, truthaboutcars.com, and you say, how about the new GMC Terrain? It don't say on there it's actually a Suzuki. Hello? I mean, when's the last time UAW built a fuel-efficient, reliable car? Well, anyway, there's a lot of things that we should be able to fix, like gathering our own power and growing our own groceries, that we could do to change this environment without upheaval. But the main reason is that the Washington, D.C. has kept the technologies and the things of the day, and our leaders have actually run us into the ground. And to be a true patriot, you should stand up for what you believe in. And let's let what we know actually, what's more valuable than wisdom? Applied wisdom. So why hasn't any of the wisdom we've had been applied for decades? Cut it off.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. What stimulates the economy, safely transports folks, helps save the environment, creates less dependency on foreign oil, number one way to stop gridlock, can produce electricity as well, and has been missing in action for decades in this country. What is it? How about maglev trains, high-speed trains, trams, the mass application of public transportation, the jobs it would take to implement this, to also run all of it run off solar because the sun shines every day, and all this fracking and natural gas is harming the environment and putting. You can't drink the water in West Virginia no more. They got mountaintop removal. We are devolving as humans. The evolution of no. We're actually, the decades of dumbness, and the dumbness is causing us as humans to actually devolve. We haven't applied anything to fix our basic problems using solar and wind and growing your own groceries. And if we took all the wasted space that all of us rich folks have and heating and cooling all these thousands of feet that we don't need in our home and start growing groceries and get self-sufficient and fix here first, I mean, how can you send $1 million across the pond when a couple blocks away a brother needs a can of soup? That'd be enough of that. That's about all I need to say about that. You can go ahead and turn that off.